this was probably the funniest SimCity game, at least in terms of the feedback you get. Some of the commentary on the bottom. Just keep an eye on that.
It's more lighthearted than the SimCity 2000 was kind of strange with constant reminders of death tolls of billions of people dying in earthquakes and stuff.
We have our first construction already.
Oh, farmers in Joetopia. This also has farms in it if you,
Yes, large amounts of light industrial on the edge of a city where the land value is low. Those can make farms. I never really got the hang of it. In SimCity 4, you could just zone farms instead. And
so let's try that. Build road far away.
don't go too hog wild here. Don't forget we need to get power out there, I think.
Oh yeah. Power lines.
A lot of the commentary on the news ticker here kind of reminds me in hindsight of Leslie Knope on Parks and Recreation. She always comes up with goofy, punny headlines like this. There's actually a user on Reddit who comments entirely in SimCity news ticker kind of speech.
The little lightning bolts say it's not powered. But now it is. And I guess they're building factories.
Oh well.
They're planting factories of stuff.
They plant a factory seed in the ground and they water it with lots of tax break legislation. Oh, see, we just started and already we have the Sims riding our ass about the budget.
Projected.
Oh, I love this one. Cash reserves very low. Mayor seen checking
phone booths for loose change.
Which also tells you a little about when this game was released, that phone booths actually existed anywhere. Oh, here we have another droopy-faced guy. All of the advisors in this game, they kind of look like wax figurines you left out in the sun.
We are not in any immediate danger, though unless you take action soon, we won't have enough in the treasury to pay for any new construction. Oh, here's some construction vehicles.
I'm disappointed you can't zoom in anymore. Oh, there we go.
Little cars. Little peoples.
No tears for Joetopia, not enough water to cry. Alright, we've got some of our early buildings here. In the last video I mentioned that 3000 had kind of that pastel look, and you can see even in our weird slum areas, it actually doesn't look that bad. There's just some brown patches on the grass and some... I guess those are supposed to be abandoned buildings, but they look like craters. Go ahead and query some of the buildings.
Playground abandoned. Poor transportation to other zones.
So in this one, they will actually give you feedback some of the time about why your zones aren't performing well. Up in smoke. Is that a headline about lack of fire coverage or legalization programs?
Tell.
If you have enough of a garbage problem, you can actually see garbage piling up in the tiles over time. So this was also capable of modifying the building graphics a little, which they took farther in SimCity 4. Do you have music playing? I can't pick up your audio.
Yep. It's got the real nice jazzy soundtrack. I was waiting for a good time to mention it.
Oh, here's your cue.
It's pretty good music. I like the music in this soundtrack. It's very calming.
This actually had real instruments instead of the MIDI that they were relying on with the first two.
Yes. And you also get the nice ambient noises like the construction sounds and dogs barking.
Which does change, obviously, based on the area. In 2000, you would get dead silence, and then it would play a sound effect a few times every minute of a jackhammer or car horns if there's traffic. This is more of a background noise.
It's nice and relaxing, really. No traffic problems.
Oh. Fat Benjamin Franklin.
Mobile. Has a stupid name. So then...
Oh, let's meet the advisors.
Yes, let's take a look at the advisors.
Instead of just zoning around houses, let's look at what's different in this.
So now the advisors have different topics that you can talk about. News topics, briefings, and ordinances.
So
some of these are like help.
Yeah, it's not really a tutorial, but you can look up information on a specific subject.
It's not quite as Civilopedia, but it's pretty good. Need Seaport for trash deal. I think that's a little bit out in the future.
The news topics are just whatever the ticker is suggesting. Studies show most Sims mispronounce Zisdursigu.
Electronics job fair proposed.
Alright.
That sounds good.
Here we have petitioners. In 3000, you will get petitioners every once in a while, either to give you feedback on the city. If you have high crime or high taxes, you'll get people coming in to compliment you or complain about it. And you will also get petitioners that let you take action on something. In this case, they're proposing an ordinance, which you can either sign in or reject and ignore them. Sometimes they have business deals, but we'll see what happens when that comes up.
You can ask the advisor, too.
However, one thing that I thought was kind of interesting, but a little unfair, the advisors would usually skew things in their own perspective. So the environmental advisor would turn down things that were actually good ideas if they had an environmental downside. The business advisor would encourage you to sign things that weren't good ideas long term if they would get you a little cash in the short term. Which you don't usually see in games. You usually don't have the game lie to you.
Enact ordinance. I'll start printing up the brochures.
Yeah, we can look at the brochures in a bit here. Oh, let's...
Free clinics ordinance. There's this old guy.
The SimCity version of the Shriners, the benevolent and proactive order of llamas.
Good health isn't really... We've got to consider the collective health of all Sims which are poor. Impact analysis. Free clinics are a very positive step for the city.
Oh, this is the health, education, and aura advisor. The aura is a weird thing they put in that only really showed up in this version of the game. It was kind of a combination of land value and happiness. So,
yeah.
Residential areas could have a good aura, but even very profitable industry or profitable commercial wouldn't have as high of an aura. And you could have things that boosted land values but killed the aura.
Like a casino.
So he's kind of your resident hippie, even more than the environmental advisor.
I will enact this ordinance. A clear-headed decision, Mayor Meisterburgers.
Oh, here we go. Green a dream, brown a frown. They're already nagging us for more parks.
Maximum security prison offered.
Okay, you want to take the business offers here?
So, a new thing for SimCity 3000 is that you get business offers from various nefarious groups.
Usually this guy.
Usually, yeah, the Bureau of Oversight. And it's a way to have, like, something you don't really want, but you get paid for it, you know?
You had to deal with the not in my backyard factor in previous games, but this is the first time you actually get paid for it. So these are usually a good idea for cities that are just starting out, but as you grow and get a stable cash flow, these really aren't worth the money.
You can get rid of them, but for now...
So, and it even says the prison is independent of your jail system, so you can't use that to save money building your own jail. Oh, let's see a complaint.
I'm sure they'll happen. So that shows up in the rewards and opportunities building. Fly out. Maximum security prison.
Oh, we didn't finish browsing through the rest of the buttons. Oh, don't put it right next door. Is this Detroit?
Oh.
I think you do have to make sure it's powered and watered and such, though.
Really?
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, and you can probably turn it down from cheetah if we're just explaining stuff.
Down to llama.
Okay, we left off with the, Okay, maybe this isn't such a cost-effective idea. Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. They don't need that HBO anyway.
So, do you want to finish our tour of the interface?
Let's see, what
Okay.
else is there?
The civic buildings.
Oh yes, you can put in landmarks in this one.
They actually have a pretty balanced selection, and it's not even just American or European. You have a few worldwide. This was also a big thing for people to try to construct their own and upload them.
Yeah, so real popular with the world set. These kind of games, like the strategy games, are real popular around the world. You know,
Especially Germany. Shed Aquarium, Adler Planetarium. Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, don't say. Let's
Oh,
build an opera house.
Oh, and here we have some of the SimCity puns. The composting ordinance could bring a heap of good.
Backyard composting.
Oh, here we have the old grannies that will nag you for not making things safe enough for the little kids. Won't someone please think of the children? And whenever you build something, you get updates. Here we have 3rd grade class to take field trip to Sydney Opera House. So the game will comment while you're working.
It's pretty cool that way. I like that. Impact analysis. I've been composting for years. I think everyone should. There's nothing smelly about composting or this ordinance on an next measure. Okay.
So you do know the code for extra money, right? Because you are blowing through this thing like nobody's business.
Not off the top of my head.
Well, you just keep on trucking.
Semicolon declared sexier than comma at grammarian's fete.
Oh, that was the SimCity exchange button. So it used to have a thing right in game to click, and then it would bring you to a website which is probably defunct now, or at least not visited much.
Probably doesn't work anymore.
Nowadays it would just be a big DLC button.
See. And then there's, of course, the disasters.
Which they kind of had weirder disasters, less realistic ones than the original. We went from having fire, earthquake, and hurricane to a bunch.
Dispatched crop dusters.
Oh, that there was a special disaster added in the 3000 Unlimited where it would get you locusts that would eat all of your trees and farm zones and lower your land value.
Oh, I never had that happen.
It was in some of the scenarios.